Chomp, 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 chomp. Chomp, 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 chomp. Chomp, 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 chomp. Jamie,
Yeah.
let's go watch Christmas Comes to Pac-Land.
You asked if I wasn't in a rush. Do you think this is going to take a long time to cover? Do you have a lot of thoughts on this?
No, I don't know. This won't take any time to talk about, but I was thinking, like when you said 3, and I was like, I got to be done by 3:40. Not that that would be twice as long as this thing is if we talked about it for 40 minutes.
It's true. And how much could we really, like...
What are you
There's
gonna
even
say?
only so much that we could take apart. I know we tend to do that. We could take a 20-minute, 30-minute movie and make
Sure.
it longer. But truly, this is Pac-Man's Christmas.
If
is
you
what
go
this
back
is.
through all of our animated Christmas things, the episodes are still short. And I think most of those even had more substance than this thing does.
Yeah.
The lightest one may have been Garfield Christmas, because they do just go to a farm and celebrate Christmas. But the grandma did have like sex letters and stuff that Garfield dug up.
That's right.
So.
See? A little more interesting. There were no sex letters in Pac-Land, man.
Hey, you didn't listen.
There were Pac-Pets. I didn't understand the Pac-Pets.
I understand that they're the cutest thing in this.
Well, that baby's super annoying, don't you agree?
I mean, it doesn't do much. Pac baby. Pac
But
baby.
it's got that...
I like when Mrs. Pac-Man's like, I'm Mrs. Pac-Man, but you could just call me Betsy or whatever the fuck her name is.
No, I wrote it down. Her name's
Peg?
like Pam or
Pam?
something.
Sue?
Peg, maybe it's Peg. I thought I wrote it down on my two. Pepper. Her name is Pepper.
Of course it's Pepper.
Pepper Pac-Man.
Pepperman. Is it?
And are they...
Is his name Pac-Man?
No, I think that's the last name.
So
They're Mr.
she's
and Mrs.
Pepperman.
Pac-Man. No, she's Pepper Pac-Man.
So his
when
name
he's
could be
Pac-Man?
like George Pac-Man.
Yeah, exactly. He might be Henry Pac-Man. We don't know. Or Paul Pac-Man. You don't know.
I don't.
Peter Pac-Man.
My dog wants to go upstairs. Whatever. Hang out for 10 seconds.
I'll hang out. Peter pecked a pepper of a Pac-Man pipe. Pellet. Ponder. Procrastinate. Please. Positive. Powder. Puppy. Produce. Prescribe. Pipe. Paul. Pod. Pea. Oh.
My dog's even
saying.
like... My dog hangs out down here when we talk. And I bet my dog's even like, what the fuck are they talking? Pac-Man?
Yeah, even
No,
he's like, I'm
here.
going upstairs. Pepper Pac-Man, I'm out of here.
I can't sit through this.
No, I don't blame him. Yeah, this was not something. My husband went straight to bed, and I was like, I'm going to watch Pac-Man's Christmas. It's a holiday film.
Wait, was it in that order, or was it in the order where you said, I'm going to watch Pac-Man's Christmas, and he went straight to bed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically.
He was like, it was a long day, and this is going to make it worse. So
Yeah,
he knew
he
what he was in store for.
Yeah, he was smart.
He'll stick it out for
there
most of
Was
our
there a
movies.
cartoon? Was there a Pac-Man cartoon?
There was.
On TV?
Yeah.
See, I don't remember.
Which brings up so many. It wasn't like an A-level cartoon. It wasn't a Saturday morning cartoon. It was a Sunday morning cartoon. You remember those, like,
yeah.
B grade? Like, I know people have nostalgia for stuff like Thundar the Barbarian or whatever, like all that Hanna-Barbera bullshit. But that's what Sundays were, is all the trash.
Yeah, and this was
part of
in
it. Yeah.
Did it look like this?
It
was
looked
animated
just like
in
this.
the same way?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't have much knowledge of it. I just knew it existed, and stomached a few episodes as a child.
Even as a child, you were like, this isn't
You know,
right.
even as a child, I was like, this isn't good, but it's TV.
Well, and let's take it easy. It's a game where the Pac-Man has to eat the pellet things and get the ghost. We don't have to make that into a whole scenario
you know what?
with a
we
family.
We should
in a
start
land.
this episode because you know what I'm
Okay.
not gonna do. I always leave the early stuff in for the patrons, and then I start the episode for everybody else when we start. For this one, for these, there's so little substance here. I'm just gonna keep this beginning in for everybody.
It's all just in there.
So
Great.
no offense, patrons, sorry, but if I didn't leave this in, everybody would get a 20-minute episode as opposed to a 25-minute episode.
Exactly.
All right, I'll start.
Okay.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Good Times, Great Movies. We're an 80s movie, usually, podcast, where we talk about a movie, usually, from the 80s. But we have done something different today, and it's something we've done before for patrons only.
Correct.
We've recently changed our Patreon, so go over patreon.com/goodtimesgreatmovies. Check it out. $3 a month now gets you everything, all the back bonus episodes, everything we do from here on out. It gets you unedited episodes early, and we have done a few Christmas specials in the past.
Yeah, they're specials.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I know we kind of ran through them at the end of the last episode, but I think we forgot one or two. So if you join Patreon, you can dig back through and you can find that we covered a Garfield Christmas,
Right.
a He-Man and She-Ra Christmas, which had not that this reminded me at all of He-Man, She-Ra Christmas, but it's something about Santa going somewhere where he's never been before, and people that don't understand what Christmas
What he
is
does,
learning
yeah.
about Christmas. It must be a thing in these cartoons that they do.
Well, and it kind of makes sense. They're all from
Does it make
Pac-Man
sense, though?
land. Well, and wouldn't you think I didn't remember this movie, so
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know if the Pac-Man was or the Santa was going to be a Pac-Man Santa. Santa but with a
Jamie, that would have made way more. That would have
More
made
sense.
the most sense.
well, not that because then they can't. Oh, but this whole plot. I mean, it's a kid. It's a kid's cartoon. It's not a deep plot or anything like that. But it's even for children. I don't know how
It's very
entertaining
shallow.
it is.
Yeah. So we also covered the Cabbage Patch Kids' First Christmas.
I have to
I
say
forgot
this
about
sort
that
of
one.
reminded me of the Cabbage Patch Kids' First Christmas at moments.
Wow.
Not a lot, because the Cabbage Patch Kids' Christmas had more depth.
It
You
was
had a little
robust.
orphan girl, the kid with the... Yeah, it was. But there were moments when I was like, oh yeah, they just thought kids didn't have... they thought kids didn't care. They didn't have any taste when they made Christmas cartoons for them, I
That's
guess.
how it reminded you. I mean, I think you could lump all these Christmas things in. Last year we covered the Claymation Christmas, which is all little claymation segments.
Just a lot of singing.
Mostly music, yeah. But the California
mostly
Raisins
music.
were there. And we did a couple full-length Christmas movies. We did a made-for-TV movie called A Christmas Dream.
What was the Christmas Dream?
That was with
that the one
Webster and
with
Mr.
Mary?
T.
Oh, that was what was it called? Okay, I thought it was like the Webster and Mr. T Christmas special,
Yeah.
but it was a Christmas
No,
Dream.
They would have attracted. You would have gotten more eyes on it by calling it the Webster
Yeah.
and Mr. T Christmas special.
That one was
That
special.
was special. That was one where I
Mr.
believe
T spent most of it in his sweatpants
Yep.
until the very
that's
end.
got to be in his contract where he's like, I'm wearing sweats top to bottom. through this
I am
entire
comfy
thing. And
cozy,
of course,
yeah.
then at the end he's in like a gold suit, which
Yeah.
is very bizarre. It's amazing.
Well, it's for the little
and
concert.
Jamie, how could we forget when we covered One Magic Christmas?
That was a magical time indeed. That was a rough time for Mary Steenburgen, but Burger?
Yeah, Mary Steenburgen. Right. Yeah, it's a movie where a terrifying Christmas angel, Harry Dean Stanton, shows
Yeah.
her how good she has it by murdering her entire family. And this is a Disney movie. I sometimes think back to that movie because that's the one where her husband's obsessed with making a bike for a girl down the street while ignoring his own children.
And she hates her life at the grocery store, right? Isn't that the one where she works at the grocery store?
Yeah. All she wants at one point is to take a hot shower, and her damn kids won't leave her alone. Oh my God, that's such a fun movie. I need to just throw that up once as a special thing for all listeners. Anyway, so whatever. That's all on Patreon. Check it out. But these ones will now remain a mainstay for everyone. We'll do this every Christmas Day. You'll get a new... Who knows what we'll do next time? Smurfs?
Mm-hmm. The Smurfs had a Christmas, and I bet Santa was surprised to be in Smurfland.
Yeah, I was like, where the hell am I? I didn't know you guys existed. But this is Christmas Comes to Pac-Land from 1982.
Early 80s. I feel that. I feel the early 80s in this one. Don't you?
It just feels lazy and kind of gross. Like, I don't feel good after watching this.
No. You don't feel the Christmas spirit. Like some of them, even the Cabbage Patch Kid one, it was a little weird. I remember there was the shady guys. I forget the like homeless whatever. Remember the guys that were the lady and that were trying to steal the Cabbage Patch Kids or whatever?
I think they were trying to steal a real child, weren't they?
Oh, even shadier. Shadier.
But that was more like delightful at the end.
Yes.
And the fact that like Skeletor started to love Christmas at the end of He and She-Ra, there was something to be said. But this ending just like, I don't know, here's some gifts, ghosts. Like, that's supposed to make us feel good about Christmas.
And the ghosts being the only bad guys.
How many bad guys do you want to be in this?
Well,
what are you talking about?
They're not that scary, the ghosts. They're not that scary. And doesn't Pac-Man generally eat the ghosts in the game?
Yes, but the ghosts chase you, and the ghosts can kill you. Yeah. You can only eat the ghosts, as this cartoon tells us, if you have a power pellet.
Yeah, which grow on trees.
Which they farm in this world. And also this world, like so Santa, the Santa that we know that exists in our universe is flying around at the beginning of this. Mm-hmm. And I love how he's in his sleigh and he's like, oh, good thing I have this computer.
He's got a little fancy device helping him out. I wouldn't be able
to fly around the world and do this without my computer. And I'm like, how did you do it before this?
Yeah, you've been around a long time, Santa.
Hundreds of years you've been doing this without a computer, but I guess now he's just lazy and reliant upon technology.
What was that other Santa movie we watched I just thought of? The one with Dudley Moore. The Santa Claus? Wasn't that what it was?
Oh, yeah. That was last year. Yeah.
Yeah.
That wasn't the Santa Claus. That's the one with Tim Allen. This was Santa Claus, the movie.
Oh, okay. Watch where you put that the.
Right. You want to make sure people understand what it is they're watching.
Yeah. Anyway,
we gotta stop talking about things that are better than this because we have to get.
I can't help it.
Get through this, but anyway.
Yeah, we do.
So
you're right. So Santa's got. The computer is helping him with his flight pattern, but what is it? Is it a storm or he just crashes into Pac-Man?
The Pac family. We're introduced to the Pac family, as we said. There's a mother named Pepper and a Pac-Man named Pac-Man, and then baby Pac. Pac baby? Pac baby.
Pac baby. And they're going on a toboggan because it's snowy. They say it several times. Get to the toboggan. Let's go on the toboggan.
It looks like a snowmobile without an engine, though.
It's a toboggan.
Or it's like they're on a bobsled team. It looks like that. It's all big and sleek. It's not like the wooden thing that just curls up a little bit in the front.
No, it's a toboggan. Pac-Man says it several times.
I understand. Do you think it's because the animators drew this and they're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. And the lead animator was like,
bobsled. That's not in the script. It says toboggan.
It's a toboggan is what it is.
Now we have to have Pac-Man say it 10 times so kids will understand what it is that they're looking at.
What it is. But it is wintertime in Pac-Land. Pac-Man land. Pac-Land.
It's just Pac-Land.
Okay.
They do, I guess, experience all 4 seasons.
They do.
Unless, and so my knowledge of the Pac-Man TV series is spotty at best, so maybe it is always snowing there. I'm not sure.
Oh, I don't know.
And you think they always wear scarves? every episode of the show. These
Around
ghosts
there.
are wearing scarves and hats. And the one ghost has like the little like thing you shove your hands in to keep them warm.
Oh, yeah. What is that, a muff? Not
Yep,
a
a
muff.
Yep. Oh, Jamie, you're treating this like this is a patrons only episode.
I'm bringing my A game to
Yep,
Pac-Land.
there's a reason we have
All
that
right.
little E explicit symbol next to our podcast. Now you know. We inadvertently make dirty jokes here. So these ghosts, so there's 5 ghosts. I don't know, Pinky, Stinky, Blinky, whatever. Who knows? One's name is Clyde, and the woman's name is like Dolores or
I thought
something.
Clyde was. I thought that was the police officer.
No,
Oh, no,
I think
he's
it's
one
a
of the
ghost.
ghosts. Okay.
Is the-
Because there is a police officer in Pac-Land.
Is the police officer
Pac-Land.
Irish too?
He does have a little accent.
It is bad
Yeah.
that as a kid, just from cartoons, I got the impression that police were just Irish. So these ghosts are hanging out, and if you know anything about the video game, the ghosts are trying to, I think, murder Pac-Man.
Yeah, they want Pac-Man down. They're threatening him. They're a threat.
Yes, and then Pac-Man, once he eats his power pellets, then eats the ghosts, and this is just ported over into this cartoon.
Right.
It appears that these ghosts just kind of like hang around and wait to attack Pac-Man.
Yeah, they just live there, and it's like a bumblebee or something that wants to sting someone with an allergy. Is that a good analogy?
Very specific. That really paints a picture of bees like sensing people who have allergies and targeting them.
All right.
Maybe that's what those murder
horns.
hornets were. I didn't read about them, but I saw the headlines. Oh my God, they can sense that you're going to go into anaphylactic shock. Like, let's
They're
get
like,
him.
he's the guy. There's no EpiPen in that pocket. Go.
Yep.
Well, regardless, the ghosts are of a threat to Pac-Man.
Yes.
And Pac-Man needs his pellets. They're coming for him, singing Jingle Bells, or their own monster version of
They're
Jingle
very
Bells.
festive. For not
Yeah.
knowing what Christmas is, this...
They're celebrating the winter season, I
Yes,
guess.
exactly.
Yeah.
I was very confused when they were like, what? What's Christmas? Because I was like, oh, yeah, I guess I haven't seen a tree or anything, but it just feels like Christmas here.
Yeah.
I think it's the snow.
Well, it's the snow.
So, and also, what is the... So they eat... So, okay. So anyway, there's like a compartment full of emergency pellets. And
It's empty.
Pac-Man opens it up and he's like, they're gone. And it's because the ghost stole them. So they had this pouch of power pellets. And then they're like, we're totally going to chomp you, Pac-Man. And he's like, you know what? You may have the power pellets, but I got snowballs. And I can throw a shitload of these things. So he's hitting ghosts. Ghosts. I would assume snowballs would pass right through them. No, they're getting pelted by snowballs. And then I'm going to say the dumb ghost, but they're all pretty dumb.
Right.
But the one's like, duh, like talks like that. And then there's one that talks like this. And then there's one that talks like this. And then there's a lady, and I don't know, maybe one other one. He throws
Very good ghost
Thanks,
imitations, by the way.
I'll try and sprinkle them in if I
Please
can.
do. Please do.
So then the ghosts throw the power pellets back like they're snowballs right into their mouths. And then they are eaten by the Pac-Man family.
When does Pac-Man? Did this happen already? No.
Sure.
not
No,
yet.
go ahead. It's a long episode. It's
When,
20 minutes.
Pac-Man has a tongue. That's new to me.
Oh.
When he opens his mouth wide and makes the ghost look in his
Yep.
mouth
Yes.
and sticks his tongue out. And I was like, I didn't know this in my notes. Pac-Man has a tongue?
Yes, because
he
this
has a
is
long
where it
tongue.
happens. Because
Yeah.
he says something like, he's about to eat the ghost, and the ghosts are like, oh, but you didn't see this warning. And it's like sewed into their ghost outfits. And it's like the surgeon ghost general or something advises against eating ghosts. And then he's like, oh, I bet you didn't see my warning. And he rolls out his big gross tongue. And they're trying to read his tongue, and he eats them.
He just eats them. And then he makes some joke about, don't see a Pac-Man with his mouth open, or don't
Look up Pac-Man in the mouth.
Yeah, there you go.
It's really dumb. But yeah. And also when he eats them, it appears that he just eats their clothing because their eyes go away.
Well, that's what happens in the game, though, right?
Right.
When he eats them, it's just their eyes. So I appreciated that. You're right.
Oh, no.
Their ghost clothes disappear.
This is an impossible task that they gave someone at some point, which is to lock him in a room and say, see this video game that's just blinking lights and circles? Make this into a cartoon.
Make it entertaining.
Someone had to do this.
Give us a storyline.
I am not envious of their position having to try and figure out how this works. And I guess this is maybe the best they could do. Like, I don't know how else you could possibly make it work. Because this doesn't.
No.
So the ghosts, when they're just eyeballs, they fly up into the sky and get in the path of Santa's reindeer. And they cause him to crash in Pac-Land.
And head first he goes. And there's a lot of snow in Pac-Land. The deer are sprawled out. Santa's down. He's not out, though. Right?
He's
Santa's down, but
kind of conked out. Like, his eyes are shut. And the Pac family finds him and his reindeer. And I like how concerned Pepper is because his baby's like wandering up to them. And she's like, watch out. Look at that alien over there. Don't go near those animals. They might be rabid or whatever she says.
Well, you got to be concerned. They don't look like them at all.
Well,
he's a human Santa.
They've never seen humans before. And he's never seen them. It's like Pac-Land exists on the island from Lost or something like that. And they've just never encountered humans before or something. Hey, Pinky, I had to turn into a smoke monster and kill all those people in the tail of the plane. I was going to kill Mr. DeWitt, but I saw that he and his wife had a lovely relationship, and I decided to let them live. Although she is the only black woman on the show, and anytime she's on screen, she's doing laundry. That seems odd. That seems like an intentional and terrible decision by the showrunner.
Nice Lost commentary slipping in there in this Pac-Man.
There's a conversation that goes out.
Well done. And again, good ghost voices.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I don't know what the lady ghost sounds like. At first I wrote sexy lady ghost, and I went, maybe I should delete that from my notes.
Yeah, I don't think you want to put that on there. I don't think I would consider it that at all.
Yeah, in case my computer ever falls into the hands of authorities. They're like, oh no, what's this guy into?
This guy and his Pac-Man sex notes. I don't know.
So,
yeah.
So they basically like take...
well, they're going to take care of Santa.
Yes.
They take him in to have him by a warm fire, give him some power pellet cocoa, which I would think, because those power pellets, man, when they give them to the deer later, it's like crack for the deer. So I would think the power pellet cocoa would crack him out a bit, but
I don't know.
No.
This stuff's like uranium. It's glowing and everything. I love how the deer are sniffing it at the end, and they're like, just eat it. It's fine. It's good for you.
Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Enjoy it.
No, they should be scared. So yeah, they're basically like nursing him back to health, and he's like, "Oh, this is terrible. That me and my deer will be fine, but the children of the world will never get the presents. P.S. Where are those presents anyway?" So Pac-Man takes it upon himself to go out and find the presents. Oh, meanwhile, there's two other residents of this town. I guess this is the entirety of the town.
We don't see any other families or any other Pac ladies.
There's a Pac police guy and a Pac, whatever that gray
like the
blob
mayor?
is. I don't know what he is.
I don't know.
But they're in charge of, I guess, rebuilding the sleigh. So Pac-Man goes out with his dog. What's his dog? Chomp Chomp or something?
Chomp Chomp. Yeah, he's got a dog and I think a cat. And the dog is Chomp Chomp.
Yes. And the cat's just...
I don't think
I'm going to call him Meowsers.
Okay. Yeah, Pepper's the yeah, I don't think I wrote down the cat's name, but I did write down Chomp Chomp as a Pac pet.
So they go out... So Pac-Man and his dog go out to find the presents. And we learn that the ghosts, like, reconstitute themselves by going into a chest of drawers and putting ghost outfits back on.
I mean, just a little dress-up time will get you feeling fine again. That's how it works.
I don't know. And then they sit around the table like, what are we going to do about Pac-Man? He's terrible.
They got to discuss. How do we get him out of here? And now what about this? And now they know about the Santa, right?
Yeah. So they go out and these ghosts, I assumed adult ghosts, but maybe these are all children. They are over the moon because they find a sack of toys.
Yeah. Which I didn't know, maybe because they're unique to Pac-Land.
They know what to do. The one ghost has like a toy plane. He's like,
yeah.
And the other one has a boat, and he's riding it around. The female ghost, of course, has like a doll that she's rocking. And I was like, this is such a weird thing to put into this. Like, you could have easily been like, we'll sell these toys and we'll make money. No, they just want to play with toys.
I know. They just want to have some toy time. They love it. And they want to keep them for themselves, even though they belong to the good children of the earth, of the planet Earth, I guess. Is Pac-Land another planet, or is this a place on Earth that Santa doesn't go?
Jimmy, it's the island from Lost. I already explained this.
You were clear on that. Okay.
There's polar bears walking around.
Desmond's down there punching in the numbers. Okay, got it.
He's down there punching in numbers all the time. Like, these ghosts are constantly bothering me. Knocking on the door, disturbing my work. They're ghosts. I thought they could fly right through the door.
Yeah, right through it, right?
No,
because they're Pac-Land ghosts.
If they try, their clothes fall off, and it's just a pair of eyes all over the place. All right, so I did like commercial breaks because now this is where Pac-Man's like, let's sneak up on these ghosts and we'll take their toys. And that's a big failure. And the ghosts are like, we're going to totally chomp you now. And they gather around and they move in and then fade to black, commercial break.
Yeah.
And I know I left you alone earlier. I forgot my power cord. I'm about to run out of power, so I have to leave you alone. Let's take a commercial break while I go upstairs and get my power cord. You can sing to the audience or whatever you were doing before.
I mean, I don't know. Chomp,
I put
chomp.
on my headphones. I just heard you say chomp, chomp, chomp. I think.
There were P words. I was saying P words before, but now I'll just... I mean, I like playing the Pac-Man game. It's intense, though. I've recently played the Pac-Man game in an arcade. And first of all, I miss arcades very much so. It's a good time. My brother and I talk about the bag of change you bring to the arcade. And you used to just play, was your day, right? Just playing different video games and hanging out with your buds. Anyway, Pac-Man was a good one to have there. And they have of course, the stand upright Pac-Man. But then they have the cool seated Pac-Man where you sit across from, and you can kind of have two-player Pac-Man, which I guess works. But you have to go one at a time, right? Yeah, I think on the two-player Pac-Man. But hey, Pac-Man's a good time. You get those crazy levels, and it goes faster, and the colors change, and it gets intense. It's a good time playing the game. Not so much watching the Christmas movie. But hey, you're back. How's your power cord? Did you pellet up?
I did. I power pelleted up my laptop.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, so commercial.
You really are trying to draw this whole thing as long as you can.
Well, this may actually be the amount of time that a real episode is. So they're about to eat, and we go to commercial. We come back from commercial, and he runs away. just runs away. We get these weird overhead shots of like. Almost like Indiana Jones flying in a plane, lines on a map going. He's running around, and as he's running, he tells his dog, don't worry about me. If I die, I die. Save the toys and save Christmas or whatever. So the dog, while he's being chased and eventually eaten, kind of, by the ghost, the dog saves the toys.
Yeah. Good job, Chomp Chomp.
So when Pac-Man eats the ghosts, their clothes are gone and they turn into just eyes. When the ghosts chomp Pac-Man, he just seems a little sleepy afterwards.
I think it's just like in the game. When the ghosts eat him, he just loses a little bit of power. So now you have 3 up or 2 up instead of 1. You keep losing a little power.
So eventually Pac-Man will die. Like one of these times.
Ghost chomped.
That's why they're trying to chomp him. They're like, he can't have
because they want him out.
lives.
And maybe that's what happened to the other Pacs in Pac-Man and Pac-Land.
Oh, they murdered the whole town?
Maybe.
Oh
maybe that's why there's only a few of them left.
Okay.
I'm just surmising. I don't know this for fact.
But, I mean, you could be... Again, we need to watch the entire series. Get ready for our next podcast, Pac-Land, where we go through every episode of that show. I assume there's 5 of them, and then it was canceled.
Yeah, I don't know how long it lasted.
I don't think it lasted very long. So they collect the toys. The ghosts are all really proud of themselves, but not, like, satisfied. Because even later, they're like, let's go eat Pac-Man again. That was so much fun. Which I only assume that's what this entire show must be, and I can't see how interesting or entertaining that is at all. Mm-hmm. If you don't have Santa, what do you have here? I mean,
what do you have? It's not a. Then you have the regular cartoon, the regular Sunday morning.
Well, that's what I mean. It must be the most boring thing ever.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, Santa's reciting "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" to the baby, who's loving it, eating this shit up. Mrs. Pac-Man's taking the reindeer's temperature and stuff like that.
She's very caring, and all the reindeer are laid out, sprawled out by the fireplace. Super cozy.
Yep. They have like hot water bottles on their heads and stuff. It's super fun. But he gets back, and Santa, I'm confused about time here, because Santa's like, I have until midnight. And I'm like, Santa, you have all night. You can deliver gifts at 2 a.m. Like, who's awake?
He's on a time crunch.
It's totally fine. But the clock is like 5 minutes to midnight, and everybody's so sad because Santa won't get to do what he needs to do. But Pac-Man has a plan. To break into the, what would you call it? The power pellet forest? Are they growing these? Is this the wild?
Maybe it's the farm, like you were saying, the power pellet farm.
Okay, all right, let's say that.
Or greenhouse, the power pellet greenhouse.
Sure, why not?
Okay.
I love how they're driving there in, I guess, the pack car or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't really know. And the
they put away the toboggan.
Right, they're done with the toboggan.
Which I thought that was going to come back around, and they were going to use the toboggan as the sleigh. I thought that was why we were so...
Yeah, nothing comes around in this. There's no thought put into this whatsoever. So the ghosts decide, let's eat them all. I like how they're like, oh my God, we can eat the whole town. And I'm like, I guess these are the only people in town.
Yeah.
So the ghosts stand in the middle of the road with a stop sign, and Pac-Man has to obey traffic laws and stops. He doesn't just floor it and go through the ghosts. He stops and reasons with them to the point where they start crying because they understand now how important Christmas is to the world.
It's very touching. Not really.
No, not really at all, because I don't understand really what's going on. These ghosts wanted toys. They want to eat Pac-Man. They already ate him. They want to eat him again. But they're easily, convinced to go away. Except later they're in his window, and the one's like, I thought we weren't eating him tonight because it's Christmas. You're like, fuck that. Let's eat him. So... they force feed power pellets to the reindeer, and then the reindeer start to glow. And basically, Christmas is saved because Santa flies away with this reindeer.
Yeah, because of the power pellets.
Yeah.
Really, in the end, it was the power pellets that helped save it.
Sure.
And because Santa at one point is just... I thought Santa was full of joy and hope and merriment and was like, we'll figure out a way. But this Santa is like, no, deadline's up. Christmas is over. There's no way.
Well, in that movie you were talking about that we did last year, remember that once Dudley Moore invented floating candy canes? Santa was like, well, fucking Christmas is over now, dude. I guess all of this is for nothing. Everybody wants candy canes now. That they kept calling a toy in that movie, but it wasn't a toy. Yeah, he gave up pretty easily, too. So maybe that's a trait of Santa. He's... he quits. Quits very easily.
When the going gets tough, Santa's like, I can't. I'm not going to be able
Santa's like, I have one job, one day a year, and if there's anything in my way...
if there's any hiccups, canceled.
Yeah. That's all the elf's job is basically like protecting him from hearing any negative
making sure,
out there. It's very
Santa
sensitive
positive.
and fragile.
Yeah, very much so.
But they're not sure if they really saved Christmas until they go back home and there's suddenly a tree and presents. And they're like, oh, we did it. We totally saved Christmas. This is proof.
Not only saved it, brought it to Pac-Land.
Sure. Now Santa's like, oh, great. Not only do I have to fly around the world,
but now I got to add it. I got to go to this
I got to now find this hidden island that I didn't know existed and go there. This is terrible. But they have gifts. Like we said, the ghosts want to murder them yet again. But Pac-Man's like, hey, there's some presents here with your names on them too. And then they say, Merry Christmas or some shit, and it ends.
Mm-hmm. And then that's it. You did a very good job of keeping it together for it, because I have to say, I was like, what is going on? There were times that I just, like, I wrote down the animals' names, and Santa's so sad, pellets for reindeers.
Well, no. And I mean, I would like to think that it's just my wonderful note-taking, but I do... Jamie, here's what I did. I watched this and I took notes, and then about 2 hours ago...
You watched it again?
I was doing dishes, and I put my phone next to me, and I put my earbuds in, and I just played it again.
Yikes.
Just because I was like, I don't think I'll remember any of this.
Well, I was having a hard time. I was like, I didn't remember all the ghosts wanting to eat so much. But
hey, this is pretty, this goes down smooth when you're just doing dishes. And you're like, I'm going to be doing dishes, putting stuff away out of the dishwasher, loading it up for the next 20 minutes. Like, I can listen to this nonsense.
All right. So that's your recommendation to the listeners.
Yes, there are no recommendations with these listeners.
No,
sorry.
We couldn't even.
Yeah, if you're looking for us to recommend some weird hidden gem of an animated Christmas special, sorry, we haven't discovered it for this podcast yet. It may not be out there. But you can count on having these every single year. On Christmas. Right. I'll do that.
Yeah. Merry.
But because this is a regular episode, I think we should talk about what we're talking about next time.
Tell us.
So, we are into 2022.
It's a new year.
We will be kicking off 2022 with a patron's choice.
Oh, these are always fun.
They are. I don't know. Like, I can't see if you're rolling your eyes or not right now. This is Laura's suggestion, and it is
great.
1982. Ooh, the same year the Pac-Land thing came out.
Coincidence? I
Kiss
think not.
Me Goodbye. A romantic comedy starring, are you ready for this, Jamie? Heavy hitters of Sally Field and Jeff Bridges.
Whoa.
And I think a ghost. I'm not sure.
Wow.
I read through like a 2-sentence synopsis, and I think it said a ghost. So we'll see. Yeah.
All right, Kiss Me Goodbye.
But that
Sally Field, the Flying Nun. You gotta love that.
Yeah, and this happens all the time where we're 7 years into this show, and I'm like, I don't think we've met Sally Field once.
No, this is wonderful.
Jeff Bridges? No, I don't think so. Huh.
No, great. Good way to start the new year.
Yeah, we talked about 2 Chuck Norris movies, guys. We're doing this wrong. But again, never a Chuck Norris movie. Somehow this podcast goes on for 30 years. The last few movies of the 80s, because we will have exhausted every movie from the 80s.
Right.
But it'll just be like these 4-movie sludge at the end that is just Chuck Norris movies. And then hopefully we'll die before we do it. But everybody, thank you for listening to this sort of special episode, let's call it.
Yeah, and, it's a Merry Christmas
if you want to subject yourself to this nonsense, it's on Boomerang, which I had to get a trial subscription to in order to watch. And Jamie watched it on YouTube on someone's television. So
it was one of those.
Exists in places. I would not suggest watching it, though. So
I don't think you need to.
All right, everybody, have a great, I think it is basically 2 weeks. Have a great 2 weeks, everyone.
Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
chomp, chomp.
Come back here, Ghost Brains!